guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Saturday, October 21st, right around the corner from the Celtics. But it would be an injustice to the podcast if we didn't start the episode with Spider-Man, because I know that this has been this is the most wonderful time of the year for you. The game finally came out 2 days ago, and you told me you have already finished the game, correct?
I have finished the story, yes. Right before Jack texted me saying he was ready to record today, I finished. It's really weird to finish this because it's like when you finish a TV show and you're like, oh, wow, I have no purpose. That's how I feel. So it was a really fun process, which I'll probably talk about a little later in the show.
Okay.
But I thoroughly enjoyed the game. What I've played of it. There's still side stuff that I'm going to do after I finish this with Jack. I got a great deal of enjoyment out of it. I think the fighting's hard as fuck. Good luck with that if you're going to play this game. Good luck fighting. But yeah, I mean, the swinging and stuff is a lot of fun. You got a lot of suits. I'm a big suit guy, even though you pick one suit and stick with it.
You just like the options.
Yeah, you like the options. You're like, okay, they thought of this. They thought of that.
What suit
really
did you go
cool
with?
Stuff.
What suit? What did yours look like?
Well, I like the original suit. Like this one.
Okay.
For the movie. They have this again.
Okay.
No, they have a bunch of versions of the red and blue suit.
I didn't know there was more than one version.
Well, they have the games version. They have this movie. They have the new movies. They
What's
have
the
middle movies. They all look different. There's differences to them. It's like It's like if you took different jerseys from NBA teams throughout the years. Like, let's just say the Clippers, because they've had very similar jerseys over the years, but they are ever so slightly different.
Sure. Okay. I get it. That makes sense.
But then there are suits that are completely different. Too.
Like colors and stuff.
They have colors. They have each suit has 4 different colors you can have it in.
Okay.
There's a lot. There's a lot. I'm telling you, once you get a little bit of time, you play the first game, you're kind of gonna get what I'm getting.
Okay. I'll wait to get it. I'm sure we'll talk more Spider-Man throughout the show, but let's talk a little bit of Celtics. The Celtics waived DJ Steward and Wenyen Gabriel. Wenyen Gabriel's probably the more surprising one. Some people thought, maybe DJ Steward could get in for a two-way spot because it has come out. I believe Adam Himmelsbach reported, as you mentioned to me, the Chase Scrubb is going to end up getting waived as well after he tore his ACL. So Celtics will now have an open two-way spot as well as some flexibility at the end of the roster. Lamar Stevens did not get waived, so it looks like he's going to make the team, but Wenyen Gabriel's not in here. Maybe
big
because
you.
Yeah, love Lamar Stevens, need that. Speculation maybe Wenyen got waived because Neemias Queta played well, by the way. Got pronunciation from him. Bobby Manning and I were at his event in Quincy, and Bobby asked him, how do you pronounce your name? Neemias Queta. That is the name. Neemias. There's a shush.
Neemias.
Neemias. Yeah. So straight from his mouth, no questions anymore. It's Neemias.
All right.
But he looks good. Any surprises? I mean, DJ Stewart's lots of surprise. Thoughts on Wenyen? We kind of speculated this after we saw
the
him.
Wenyen thing is weird because over the past season and couple of seasons, he's actually logged NBA minutes. He was a rotation piece for the Lakers last year, and the Lakers were considered by many to be one of the better teams in the league. They
made the Western Conference Finals.
It's odd. Well, they got a little bit of a nice path to get there, but it's neither here nor there. They ended up watching Wenyen get overlooked for Neemias, and he earned it. I mean, he looked awesome. And Wenyen Gabriel, when he was on the floor for the Celtics, didn't do a whole lot. He didn't do much to turn people's heads or impress. Looked tense, looked rushed. DJ Steward never saw any legitimate run. He wasn't playing alongside rotation guys. Neemias was. He looked great. He had a great finale against Charlotte, 6 of 6, 12 points. Was dominant inside. He was not afraid to go to the cup and finish strong. that was a great thing to see. I don't even know if Wenyen played outside of garbage time, which was essentially the whole second
Not
half, but
really.
in the fourth
Yeah.
quarter.
Yeah. It's not very surprising that he didn't make the roster, but the more interesting part is that the Celtics now have a little bit of flexibility, and I compiled a list of tentative options for two-way contract, some of which are less realistic than others, some of which, as Sam is laughing now because he hasn't seen the list yet, some of which are more funny. First one, Joey Hauser got waived by the Jazz and the Clippers. Just bringing the Hausers together would be kind of funny. He's pretty much the same player as his brother. He's just a sniper. He's a tall guy who can shoot. It's about all you need. Jason
would be
Preston
kind of funny.
would be. Jason Preston's a guard. He spent the past couple of years with the Clippers. You liked what he can do. We liked what he can do in college. He wrote for Fanside. It's Piston site. So blog boy, respect, appreciate it. Maybe bring him in. Back to back. Malik Fitz, Matt Ryan. Bring one of them in. Come on. They both got waived. They're both no longer on a
NBA
roster.
Finals experience.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Carlick Jones got waived by the Bulls. Do we know who this is?
Nope.
Carlick Jones, you will when I tell you this, just dominated the World Cup. He was on South Sudan with Wenyen Gabriel, I believe, and he was just probably a top 5, top 10 player at the World Cup this summer. He averaged 20.4 points, shot 48% from the field, 42% from 3 on 5 attempts a game, as well as 10.6 assists a game in 1.6 turnovers. And where are the rebounds? I'm just checking here. I don't think I'm going to be able to see. 3.6 rebounds. But he was like not just good at the World Cup. He was like ridiculous at the World Cup. So kind of surprising to see the Bulls waive him when they probably should just keep around talent at this point. Carlos Jones, 25 years old. He only has 2 years, 12 games of NBA experience. Spent a lot of time in the G League, though. He was on the Windy City Bulls this past year, averaged 26 points, 4.4 rebounds, 7 assists, 1.7 steals, 48% from the field, 36% from deep. He can play. And so if they're following the line of let's go with G League guys who played really well, Nimish Keita, and guys who played at the World Cup well, which was probably the idea with Wenyen, Carl Jones, like he's right there. We've talked about bringing in some extra guard help potentially if JD is not going to work out, just so you have extra pathways to go with moving forward. Carl Jones is there, and he played really well at the World Cup, so I thought it'd be interesting.
He sounds like an interesting prospect. I think it is interesting for Chicago to be waiving him. Again, one of those teams where I'm not convinced they should have the right to waive guys. Like they're not really good enough to be waiving people. Sure. But I think the Celtics are not in need of that, or maybe they are. Because if you look behind Peyton Pritchard, there isn't anybody I really want out there with the ball from the guard spot. Like I really want JD Davison playing NBA minutes. DJ Steward is no more. So if you want to fill that hole,
small by the way,
small as it may be,
he is also small, 6 foot, so he's a short guard.
I mean, you could do that. Why not? Why not?
John Butler. Another name I put on this list. This is completely random. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it. I just remember writing about him coming out of the draft saying like, oh, the Celtics should take a flyer. From what I remember, he's fairly skinny, but he is just like giant 7-footer, crazy wingspan, blocks a lot of shots. And he shot a little bit in college. And I was just like, that could look cool next to Rob. And so he was something I wrote about. So to see him get waived, I was like, my eyes perked up at the very least. He hasn't done much and he hasn't been like amazing in the G League or anything, but I just remember writing about him and was like, oh, he got waived. I wonder if it's something that it's just my dumbass brain running basically. In the G League this past year, he only played in 6 games and he averaged like 8, 4, and 1, and he 3.2 blocks though. So he's a shot blocker.
Sure.
Just somebody. Nathan Knight, name you should maybe know. Do you know Nathan Knight?
I do not know Nathan Knight.
You will when I explain the context. Nathan Knight is low-key a Celtics killer. I believe it was this past season, or maybe it was 2 years ago. He was on the Timberwolves that night where they just routed.
Oh, he was?
Celtics. And he was one of the guys that played fairly well, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
His season high 2021-22 season had 20 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists in 29 minutes in a 5-point win against the Celtics.
I would have been mad as well. I was mad as hell.
Yeah, it was one of 2 games he had that season, 15 points or more. So if Brad is going with, okay, let's sign Svi, let's sign O'Shea, let's sign all these guys, Nathan Knight would fit the bill, and he's a fine player. Nathan Knight, like he is 6'10", he's a power forward center. He plays with intensity. That's something we saw in that game, and you've seen throughout his time there. Played in the G League a decent amount. That's a lie. I just lied to your face. He doesn't play in the G League a lot. He hasn't played a lot. I was assuming because he hasn't played in the NBA a lot, but no, he hasn't. But 3 years in a row with Atlanta. Nathan Knight?
Maybe he's retired. Hasn't been playing a lot.
No, he was just waived by the Knicks like today. So he's not retired.
Well, maybe he retired today.
No. But Nathan Knight, another guy. And then Scottie Pippen Jr. played for the Lakers last year. There isn't too much to this other than would be cool if the Celtics got him and he turned into something good just to spite the Lakers. That was effectively my thought process. He's a 6'1" guard. He defends pretty well from what I know. He averaged 21 points in the G League, 4.1 rebounds, 5.6 assists, 1.6 steals, shot 47-30. So it's not great, but like if he panned out, he was an okay defensive guard, would be cool because the Lakers had him and then they lost him. So that was my thought process.
Speaking of guys that the Lakers had and then lost, Cole Swider, who has been very good for Miami, will be with Miami, which you tweeted about today.
I did, yeah.
Would have been cool to have him on the Celtics in one of those two-way spots because he's from Rhode Island. And he's been very good for Miami in the preseason. So just another guy to keep your eyes on as the Celtics get torched by Miami with some guy you'd never heard of. Of these guys, I think Carlik Jones sticks out as an interesting prospect. Both Fitz and Ryan are guys I wouldn't be opposed to bringing back either just because they've been here. Fitz was great when he was with the Celtics, just bringing the vibes to the bench. Blake Griffin is not on the team anymore, so you could always use a new vibes guy. Would be kind of hilarious if they brought in Joey Hauser as well. But some of the conversation we had in this little two-way guy review has really made me think of how great it will be when they have expansion, because you're going to see so many more opportunities for guys like a Carlik Jones who's getting waived by the Bulls to display his talent like he might have done in the World Cup. Like he was so great in the World Cup. Why can he not do that in the NBA? Well, he's not really given much of an opportunity. You're going to see so much more opportunities to be so cool.
Carlik Jones, by the way, won MVP in the G League, I believe. Nimish Keita got runner-up. So that is also the dichotomy there. Yes. But yeah, those are some guys I threw together just off the dome and looking through Spot Track's transaction list. I was just skimming Spot Track's transaction list and looked at guys who looked interesting. But preseason is finally over. Regular season right around the corner. Let's recap the preseason a bit here with some talking points. And if I may choose the starting point, Porzingis is fucking cool. That I can just a little bit, just for a little bit. Yeah. We've said it over and over again. I believe I had that exact same phrasing when we talked about it with Corrales the other day. He's just awesome. Sorry, but Kristaps Porzingis is everything that we hoped he would be. I remember I said this before preseason. I said he is not just going to elevate the team; he's going to completely change the way they play offense. He's completely changing the way they play offense. Like he's just always open, and having a guy as good as him always open is crazy. Like it's sick. It's so fun.
Just always open. He's always open.
He is. He literally, and that's not me saying it. That's from his mouth. He goes, "Yeah, these guys draw so much attention that I just fucking take every shot. I'm just open, man."
Dude, he's becoming one of the more fire personalities on this team, where he's just like, "Oh my god, I can't believe like how easy this has become for me." Porzingis has exceeded any expectation I had for him coming in. I don't know about what your expectations were, where they were at. I know we both were high on him. We both thought he was going to contribute greatly. We both thought he was going to change the offense like he has. But I don't know if we all thought he would be this good. We're looking at a guy that's brand new to the team, and he's looking like he's going to be the second option. Or at least at first he's going to be, because nobody's defending him. You're muted.
Sorry, I was just laughing. I'm sending a text for something. I don't know if he'll actually be the second option over Jalen, but you can see him getting more easy looks than Jalen just because of the way he's going to play off the stars. Like I feel like Jalen and Jason will be doing a lot of the oh yeah, we'll dribble, we'll create the offense, and KP will just benefit from that. And I think that's where you see him maybe take some of those. I don't want to say take the opportunities from Jalen, but take some of the points and cut into the scoring that Jalen would otherwise provide. But I'm all in. And remember before this, we were like, God, can they get 3 All-Stars? Yes.
Yeah,
they
can have 2 MVPs. Yeah.
Yeah, KP is awesome. But to avoid talking about that for the whole time, another one, you had it back to back here. I just skipped it. Pritchard also just fucking sick, like just so good. I think he was like top 5 in preseason scoring before a certain point. Like, just killing it. Like, he's just nasty, and the Celtics got him for cheap, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, they inked him to an extension. Then he said, "Hey, watch this," and just went out there and lit everybody up for the whole preseason, or for a lot of the preseason. He didn't have the most efficient game against Charlotte in the last game, but he had a lot of assists, which was another great thing to just see. Like, he didn't have the shot that day. He was able to make things easy for his teammates. It was awesome. To go a little bit further into what we've seen from Pritchard, we've seen that he's ready for a major bench role. It was something coming into the year we weren't really sure about. Celtics had offloaded. He could be a 6-man candidate, maybe. Like, seriously, he could be. It's not crazy.
Which is crazy.
That's a crapshoot award to an extent, because you really don't know who's going to thrive in a bench role just yet, unless there's repeat guys, which there really isn't. Hero probably will start. Brogdon's on a new team. Off the top of my head, I can't tell you a bunch of 6-man guys.
We'll get into it later. Spoiler alert.
We sure will.
Get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets. Guaranteed. That's guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. It absolutely is. The app is easy to use, and you can be on everything from spreads to player props and more. So visit FanDuel.com/Boston. Kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
But I'm amped for Pritchard. He looks so confident. He's ready to play after sitting on the bench for a year. And, man, he's just got everything. He's got supreme confidence, wants to shoot threes. He's able to get crafty inside a little bit. Awesome to watch.
Speaking of 6-man, I'm just going off the sheet that you put together, so thank you for the lob. I'll throw it down. Starting lineup, we just talked about 6-man. It sounds like it's probably going to be Derek White with Al Horford coming off of the bench. We saw that in the last 2 preseason games, and even though Al was out in that last game, but it seemed like they were trying to treat those as more regular, we'll do this. I do wonder if that means like maybe Al sets a bit more than we're thinking, which is fine, right? You let him get that rest, but the starting lineup with Derek White and Holiday looks so good. Like on defense, like they had, I know, I'm going to preface this. Yes, it was the Hornets. Yes, they're terrible. Objectively, that like from what we watched,
they're still a team you're going to have to play this year. We're one of 29.
The Celtics had 22 steals against them. Like, and not all of them were just them throwing the ball away. Like Derek White and Kristaps and Jrue Holiday just hounding guys on the defensive end. Like, that defense is going to be disgusting. Kristaps was getting blocks. Derek White was getting blocks. This defense is going to be really good. And that starting lineup with the guards and Kristaps, like Joe talking about this the other day, or I think it was, I don't know if it was Joe or Al at practice, but I think it was Joe. And he was like, there's this misconception that to be a great defensive team, like people are thinking we're sacrificing defense because we might run smaller instead of double bigs. Like, we can just be a great defensive team in a slightly different way. Like, that's not that's not the only qualification for a good defensive team. And he also, not to get too off track, but Gary Washburn basically said, you only shot 40 something threes against the Hornets, because Gary's whole thing is like mocking Joe for quote wanting to taking 50 threes.
Respect.
And Joe immediately goes back to him and goes, yeah, because we got 22 steals, so we were in transition the whole fucking game. Like, that's why we didn't take a bunch of threes. Like, we were in transition, and he just went on this long rant. He's like, I mean, that's the difference. Like, well, yeah, we want to take threes, but if we get in transition, we're getting to go like this whole rant. And then he ends by going,
he's just getting rattled. And he's fired himself up there at the podium.
he goes, good. So Gary's like, so does good defense mean you won't take as many threes? He goes, no, because turnovers don't mean good defense, right? Like you can play good defense and not get a ton of turnovers. Like they're not. Joe was just and this was all after the presser ended too. Like this was Joe just talking for the sake of it. It was very funny. Like everyone shut off their cameras, and Joe just starts going like, we didn't take a bunch of threes because like he just starts like popping off after all the cameras come down. But this starting lineup looks so sick. And again, every time we talk about this, I mention it, but you were a big start out guy. Are we good with the Derek lineup? Or do you think they'll roll with that?
I think they will, depending on, if there's any matchup thing that needs to be taken care of. But I thought they looked really good against the Hornets. They got off to a much better start than they did against the fellas version of the Knicks.
In fairness, not hard to look good against the Hornets.
Not hard, right. But LaMelo is a solid player, so they had a little bit of a defensive assignment there.
Also, at practice, I don't know if he said this during the presser, but Joe just goes, yeah, we're not going to be playing bad teams every night, so we're not going to get 22 steals.
That's literally... That's like a little like preview of just beef between like the Hornets have like a little bit of bulletin board material. Not that I care. I mean, listen, more bulletin board material. I'm not like afraid of the Hornets having bulletin board.
I don't
material.
even think you meant it in a bad way, but it was just like, damn, yeah, the Hornets.
But like last year, Eddie House was like the Magic are a bad team. Then they beat the Celtics twice, and all the players were like talking about it.
Yeah, but
so
the Magic have
it
like
is a thing.
players.
People hear things, especially NBA players. They're so sensitive. They're like
Hornets
me online.
Hornets are just terrible, though.
They are terrible. They are terrible.
So
but the
bad.
Celtics got off to a great start. Just to switch back to Porzingis ever so slightly, but he goes into the starting lineup aspect in him being the lone big guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was dominant as the big guy in the first half. Double-double at the half. He was on the offensive glass, putting up putbacks through contact and getting to the line. He looked awesome. They had no answer for Kristaps Porzingis, Charlotte. I mean, it's Charlotte, but still, to see him have to take on the responsibility of being the center and it going extremely well, awesome. Mm-hmm. Great for Porzingis, great for the Celtics, great for Joe's small ball starting lineup, if you want to call it that, because it's kind of not small ball, but it is.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so excited. This team's
smaller
so
ball.
Good. All the defensive stuff they're doing is super cool. It seems like Joe is more like, okay, yeah, we got to actually I actually have to coach them on defense, which is basically like, they're not just going to try. I have to tell them to try. Speaking of Joe, put it on the sheet too. He's been so cool. Like he's just been really a lot more open. He's been a lot more willing to answer questions. He did shit on me for asking if they're going to guard small and big guys. And he was just like, yeah, we're going to have to do both. I'm like, sorry, Joe, my bad.
Start writing your hit piece. Revenge.
Yeah, right. Except the difference is when I write
that's Jack's villain origin story.
Nah, Joe's been great. I think he's been a lot more open, and he's fun this year too, which is like last year Joe was like very closed off and almost combative when he was talking to the press, and he just seems more open and willing to chat this year and very vocal.
Has anyone asked him about that?
I don't think so. I think
it might be something interesting for you to ask, not for our sake, but it could be a good Celtics blog piece.
I can't remember if somebody asked it at the start of the year. I think he talked about it briefly on the JJ Redick pod, but yeah, man, I'm hyped for Joe. Anything else we missed about the preseason? I think, obviously Nemish Keita has been sick, but Nemish Keita led the league in preseason field goal percentage, by the way, and offensive rebounding percentage.
Picking off where Rob left off.
Beast. Yeah, he's
I think just some interesting things Joe has done on the court. The pressing, that's interesting. Something to keep your eyes out for when the season rolls around. How are they going to muck up games against teams, create chaos? Listen, Hornets, bad team. Knicks version of the fellas, technically a bad team. But I'd love to see what they're going to do when they play Milwaukee, full-strength Knicks, Miami the first week. Are they still going to press? Is it going to work? Maybe. I don't know if it's going to work against Spoelstra. I feel like he'll be kind of ready for it. But I do like that Joe's experimenting with crazy shit to throw curveballs in the playoffs. I know he's mentioned the curveball quite a bit.
All the time.
And I think you need a curveball as a coach every once in a while. I mean, you saw Spoelstra throw curveballs all series last year, last 2 years, last 3 or 4 years. I mean, that's how Miami is stuck with the Celtics team. That's probably a better team in every single series. Yet 2 of them went 7 games, and the Celtics lost the one that didn't.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
you have to have things that are adjustments to screw up the other team. It's going to make things so much easier for you.
Definitely. Yeah. I'm in for Joe. I'm in for the season. Preseason went well. W in my book. But next thing we got.
W and D. They lose this they lost once.
Yeah, they lost to
Hoss.
the
They lost the game that they
Sixers?
didn't play anybody.
The Knicks. Yes. The one game I bet on them to win is what was
Yeah.
yes.
I have
but
4-0 on preseason bets.
fuck you.
You're 1-1.
Today we'll get there. Today I went to the Juice / X, whatever you want to call it, Johnny Cupcakes collaboration with Jaylen Brown in Boston at Newbury Street at Johnny Cupcakes location. I'll pull up my Twitter because I shared some photos and
Did
we can
you
look
get
at those.
anything?
But I talked to Johnny Cupcakes. I talked to a couple people from the Juice team. I talked to.
Merchandise.
Oh no. I did not, but these are what the shirts look like. They're very cool. They're limited though, so I'm not gonna ask for anything. But it comes
you
in this
could've
cool
bought
box. They were like $100 each.
They were $100 for a T-shirt.
I think so.
That much?
Yeah, and you had to buy 2 to get an autograph.
Oh
I
my
believe.
gosh, that's robbery. No wonder he was so friendly with all these people.
They're very cool though. It's it comes in like the cereal box kind of thing. This is one. It's like a light bulb. Fun. These are all the designs, but I have full pictures of them, so you won't. This is like the back. This is the logo, a limited edition collab. These are the other ones. No juice, no cupcakes. The joke being juice is called juice, but they don't sell juice, and cupcakes is Johnny Cupcakes, but they don't sell cupcakes, which is funny. So that was something they kept saying. This is a cool shirt. It's just the box on a shirt, but the designs are cool. This is probably my favorite one.
I like that one too. I was going to actually give you one if you were getting a shirt.
Not for $100.
Not
and
for
then
$100,
this is another thing. This is Jaylen at the event. This is when he first got there. It got very packed and very busy, very fast. This is him with Johnny Cupcakes, legend. He was Johnny Cupcakes, very nice guy, very cool, very personable. So shout out to him. This is him meeting Alex, who was the fan who was there. He got there at 3 a.m. and then he wasn't wearing the Lakers jersey, by the way, for those listening on other platforms. Lakers jersey. He wasn't wearing this when we pulled up and talked to him. He just put it on to meet Jaylen, which is just
he's a rat.
Yeah, that's an ultimate disrespect move. Like, what are we doing? Yeah, so that's a bit whack. Also, they were supposed to have Jaylen sign the shirts they bought, and then everyone just came in with jerseys and had Jaylen sign the jerseys. Like, no one had him sign the shirts they bought. So there's that. Somebody brought this. This is a full cardboard cutout of Jaylen Brown to the event. Someone just rocked up with it in the store and had him sign it, which was super funny.
I respect that.
Yeah, it's just a kid too. He just brought it in, so that was fun. I think Cam Tabatabai posted some other pictures that were taken by actual photographers. Yep, shout out Aramis Martinez. We met him there. He sent us some pictures, which was cool. Jaylen at the event, him signing the boxes. This is Jaylen Johnny Cupcakes, and I need to get this name correct. And Set Free Richardson, who helped set it up. He works with NBA players. He was talking to us. He said, "Yeah, I've connected with Kemba. I've connected with Marcus. I think he said Kyrie too. Stop, nice guy. Don't shut up. He's a great guy. Very nice. He talked to us. We had some quotes from him too. Basically saying that you went out to dinner was an idea. They only came up with this idea a month ago, so this is a very quick get it out, get it rolling. But yeah, and shout out Aramis Martinez for the.
Now I lagged, but let it be known, Alex is a rat.
You got that out. Don't worry. You got.
I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alex,
rat move to show up to a Jaylen event. Not only show up with a Lakers jersey, but be the first person there, and then put the Lakers jersey on. So you go up there first. He
was legitimately there since 3 a.m. the previous.
What was his story?
It's crazy. That's it. That's all we got.
He had nothing for you. He was like,
well, he's a huge Jaylen fan. So he was just I love Jaylen, man. I just wanted to be here and be
that big a fan.
I don't know. I don't really get that part. He left before we could ask him about the Lakers jersey. We were going to, but yeah, the event was cool. Jaylen was there. It was a 2 to 4 event, and we didn't leave until 6. So he was there, man. People, it was fun. He was the reason it took so long was because Jaylen was just having a conversation with everybody who walked up.
I mean, he should have for $200 to get up there.
It was very nice. It was very nice. It was a well-run event. Everyone at Johnny Cupcakes was cool. And the store, if you want, some cool T-shirts, go to Johnny Cupcakes in Newberry Street. It's a very cool store. Like the whole thing is
All
you
the
know, we're a-
t-shirts are black.
they called it a fakery. Which is
Not good for pet owners.
No. I think there's some
cannot
other
wear
colored.
black
There's some
shirts.
other colored ones there too. There is. I think this is the right logo. Let me just
Were
double
the
check.
Jalen ones multicolored too, or no?
No, all those are black. They have a Seinfeld designed one though, where it's the
Oh.
Seinfeld, like it's a blue shirt with the Seinfeld logo, but it says Johnny Cupcakes. I figured you'd like that.
I would like that.
But yeah, shout out them. They were cool.
Have you
Great
seen
event.
Seinfeld at all?
No,
Oh, you're missing out.
I know.
That's
My
something you
mom-
can just put on while you're working.
I've heard plenty of stories about Kramer because my mom likens me to him, although I don't see it as much. Maybe just me in my personal life, but
I don't see it either.
I know, no, it's
You're more of a George.
I feel like I just got insulted.
You did.
Sure. Go to the next thing. You intro the next thing, like recover.
Yes. All right. So this is a quick one, but Andre Iguodala, newly retired, went on to First Take because that's what you do when you're retired, and he had some things to say about Jrue Holiday. The two were teammates for a couple years while they were in Philadelphia, but Iggy, very nice things to say about Jrue. Says he's the most underrated player of his generation. Is he really? Maybe. He probably gets a very underrated outlook on his career because he spent so much time in New Orleans and then Milwaukee. He won the championship once he got there, but he spent the bulk of his prime playing for the Pelicans, a team that nobody really paid much attention to. And I mean, they even made the playoffs a couple of years and nobody was talking about him. I remember when he was about to get traded to Milwaukee, there were rumors of the Celtics maybe being interested in him, and it was going to have to be Kemba and some draft picks. And I just remember being like, really? Kemba for him? So if that doesn't say Jrue Holiday is an underrated player, I don't know what
What
does.
was the Kemba deal? So
It would have been like Kemba and some picks for Jrue Holiday instead
the
of
Celtics?
Milwaukee. It was a rumor years and years ago, like right before the Milwaukee trade happened.
That would have
We
been,
talked about it on the show, and I was like, no, absolutely not. Don't do that. That's dumb.
I would have done it. That'd be great. Maybe
At
Maybe I
the
was less
time,
than
I
that.
think you were more in favor of it than I was, but I don't know if you were all in or not.
look at me. Look at me go. No, I mean, I guess we should have seen it. Like Jrue Holiday's more of he'd last longer, just like defense and that sort of stuff. I don't know though. I could
There's a
see
lot about a
why.
guy to make 2 All-Star appearances 10 years, like at the
That is
beginning, and,
crazy.
like towards the end of your career, and you're making All-Star appearances, but nothing in between.
That is crazy. That is crazy.
Any other
spe-
underrated guys? Off the
From
top
that
of your head?
period, I mean, Rudy Gay just got waived. Probably perennially underrated. He's very
He
good.
might have been overrated.
Rudy Gay?
Yeah, like the teams he was on were never great. The Raptors traded him and then all of a sudden got competitive. When he was on Memphis, I think those teams were actually not bad. So maybe
he's only made the
winning.
playoffs. He only made the playoffs 3 times in his career. So maybe I see what you're saying, but it's tough because you look at the teams he was on. Those Memphis teams, like those were the young rebuilding Memphis. Like he just felt like he was always the guy this team traded because like we have to trade somebody to get the next star, and he's just good enough for the other team to be interested in.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's completely fair to say he was overrated. I think Rudy Gay was a good player. Trying to think of other ones. Something ahead. Andre Iguodala probably underrated. He's himself.
Only
He's a
one
good player.
All-Star appearance.
Yeah, he's a good player.
Like Conley?
Mike Conley's underrated. Yeah, best NBA players to never make All-Star game. That's what I'm wondering now.
Jamal Crawford probably never made an All-Star game, but he got a ton of like recognition.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Lamar Odom never made an All-Star game. Richard Jefferson never made an All-Star game. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll buy some of those. Jason Terry was good. Andre Miller was fire.
that's probably one. Yeah, that's a good
Andre
one.
Miller was real good. Anyway, sorry, before we get too down the rabbit hole.
Just depends on where you play.
Yeah. Another guy with a long career is Al Horford, who said he's okay with coming off the bench. He said that at a recent practice. Let me find the quote here. Said the type of team we have a lot of depth. We have a lot of talented players. One of our strengths is our versatility as a team. So there's going to be times that we have to go a certain way. There's other times we have to play big, play small, things like that. It's just the way it is. I'm in a position right now that I feel we can all impact the game in a positive way. Sometimes the best thing for our group right now is to play that way. There will be times that we'll play big and do things like that. Also, just as an aside, said, seems to me the game comes easy to him when talking about Nimi Ishiketa, which is cool to hear from him. But yeah, Al's basically saying like he was less, yeah, it doesn't matter than the other guys. Like you asked Derek White and KP, they were like, yeah, don't care, whatever. Didn't see like Al didn't come out and say nope, don't care, but you can tell that he just wants to win at this point. Like he's ready to do it.
Yeah, he doesn't care. You're absolutely right. He's just like, give me a damn ring. Like,
yeah.
Should already have one.
Probably one of the best players with not the best players without a ring, but like he has the record before he went to the finals of the most playoff games without an appearance in the finals, right? Like that was his
one of the best playoff careers without a championship. Maybe,
yes,
maybe that's the way you want to put it.
Yes.
But I think, like you said, his stance on coming off the bench says volumes about his dedication to winning. And it goes along with the theme that is run throughout the Celtics this fall, which is just being all in, one goal. The whole team is working towards it together. And not a lot of guys there are caring too much about the individual part of that.
Stat for you. Only two players have more playoff games played than Al Horford without a championship. Who are they?
Give me a second to think.
I'll tell you who's tied with him because it's not the question. Sam Perkins is tied with him. James Harden's at 160 below him. But who are the two above him? The players have 193 and 182 respectively.
I feel like Chuck's got to be one of them. Because Chuck was on some good Sixers teams. He was on the Suns through the middle part of the 90s. Then he went to Houston. But no, he's not. Shaking
123. He has 44
They also had less first-round games then. Are these guys modern players?
No.
No.
They're not. No.
Jerry West. Or did he get one?
I think he got one because he's not on this list. He's not on this list.
Shame on me. I don't know. I'm going to give up. Should I know?
They're both on the same team.
Is Clyde Drexler one?
No. You're going to get real mad.
Is this painfully obvious?
Yes. Who's the best player to never win a championship? Two of the best players to never win a championship.
Both on the same team?
Very good basketball players, questionable people.
Questionable people? Stockton and Malone.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I don't know if Stockton. Wait. Did he do something I don't know about?
He's just promoting a bunch of like vaccinations a scam, microchips in your brain. He's just like,
him handshake Kyrie. But yeah, Karl Malone, interesting taste. Yeah, that's an obvious one. I can't believe I didn't think of that.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to tell you. I was like, let's let him get there. Yeah, Horford. Anyways, Al's ready to do what it takes.
Different taste than Karl Malone. Respect.
We'll say that. Respect. We love Al Horford on this podcast. We'll put it that way. All right, let's check in with the emails.
We have some good emails today.
A lot of emails is what we have. Let me pull it up here. We do, in fact, have mail. Let me pull it up here. Just give me a sec. Let's go from backwards to forward. We'll start with RJ. A brief look back.
All right.
Afternoon, guys. Sometimes I see where you're going and it pays, or sometimes to see where you're going, it pays to look back to where you were. Not very far back either. Everyone learns in their own way. Some people want to practice and work the kinks out and don't care what they look like until they get it right. Others want to do the reps privately until they have it down. There's no right or wrong way as long as you know who likes doing which way. During the first quarter of the Knicks game before the first substitution at 6:12, wow, this is in depth. The Celtics played with quick pace, moving without the ball and passing the ball to find the guy with the best shot. This is from Wednesday, by the way, 3 days ago, so it's a little bit old. Celtics had 13 possessions and everyone ended a possession at least twice, except Jrue Holiday, who only had one, but added an assist and offensive rebound. Nice balance, right? It was almost identical twin to the start of the previous game in Philly. 13 possessions, the first 6:33 when Baton subbed in. And in that time, the possession ended in Porzingis, Hauser, and White's hands 3 times, while Al and Jrue finished 2 each. Everyone joked in the Philly game about Coach Mazzulla never benching one of the Jays for not diving to the floor fast enough. But I think them sitting out Philly might have been a different teaching moment. It showed that winning Celtics basketball was going to be played by whoever was on the court at a different time. No need to be the hero, to be ball dominant, to play the right way to win. I joke about armchair analysts reading too much into things, so I could absolutely be off base here, but it's at least something different to look at as we head toward the regular season. Be well, RJ. P.S. I may miss tomorrow's playback session as it's a birthday for my twins. Like you guys a lot, but they win hands down. No complaints here. Happy
Respect.
birthday to the Johnson
If
twins.
we were twins, maybe, but we're not.
I think that's a good point. I mean, I definitely didn't notice it. It's not something I went in depth on, but to see how like spread the possessions were is cool. And I think that's how you're going to see Celtics basketball be played this season, much to the happiness of Sam and myself. But Sam is big on the passing.
Yeah, I just think that's the best way you can play. I think there are times in games where you need to go to your best guys. Tatum needs to have a shot at the end of the game, whatever it may be, right? But you have so many different options this year. You need to take advantage of it. You should be playing widespread basketball where guys are playing a more fluid game, maybe almost towards like a college type style where you're not really trying to run
To some
through
degree.
anybody in particular, but like it can be anybody's night, any game. That's what's going to make the Celtics dangerous. It's going to be what makes them a difficult out in the playoffs because there's game plans you can throw at every single one of those guys, but it's going to take away from the adjustments you've made to, let's say you're game planning for Jason Tatum, the adjustments for Porzingis, Jrue Holiday, Jaylen Brown, all kind of are going to be drawn back. So I like to see the ball popping around, and I'd imagine if we were to build off of RJ's email, the trend would have continued in the Hornets game on Thursday as they came out and kicked the piss out of the Hornets. They literally took their stickers and just ripped them right off.
It's great phrasing. Next one, new emailer. Thank you to Nate Bach. We appreciate you. Sorry it took us so long to get to you. This was on Thursday. I saw this when I was getting my haircut, but rat list. Jack and Sam, congrats on the growth of the podcast. I've been listening since before the name change. Thanks for putting in the work and delivering great content.
Hey,
thanks to you. My rat list. Anyone who is working in a customer service role and calls you boss when taking your order or waiting on you, saying things like sure thing, boss, or okay, boss. And my least favorite, whatever you want, boss. When someone in a service role calls you boss, it is a backhand way of saying I'm better than you. They sarcastically call you boss as a way of belittling you, like they think you're an idiot and they don't want to help an idiot. It shows they are immature and insecure. Last week, I had to upgrade my family's cell phone plans, or my family's cell phones, and ended up going into the retail store because of a problem with the phones. The customer service rep kept greeting me by saying, "What do you need, boss?" I immediately wanted to throw up. I looked up and noticed this guy's mustache was overgrown and bushy while somehow being scraggly at the same time. He turned out to be the most condescending, self-absorbed, cocky customer service rep in the store. His manager stayed within earshot the entire time. Our phones took some time to set up, and the rep's lunch break was about to start. He complained to his manager about missing lunch break for this guy's phone, in quotes. His manager allowed him to go to lunch, and the manager finished up. The rep literally ran across the store like a little kid running out to recess, pumping his arms, high knees and all. Now that I've said this, I feel like this is something that Sam might say. Am I wrong? Thanks, boss.
Is it something I might complain about or something I might like call people boss?
I think he's inferring that you call people boss.
No, I don't call people boss. I'll actually say this. I completely see where he's coming from with this, but I actually don't mind the being called boss depending on what it is. I've at the gym, like there's like a few like workers there that call you boss, and it's like kind of a nice, endearing thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they are sarcastic and making fun of me. But my favorite guy that works there calls everybody boss, and I'm like, that guy's fire. He's great. Now he has a black shirt because he's a manager. So calling people boss made him the boss.
There you go. Maybe you just gotta.
I love this complaint.
This is amazing.
Boss definitely could end up on the list of buddy, bud, pal, sport. All
I
of
see
those
what he's saying
disrespectful. No, I get it. Completely get it.
Thank you.
Never thought of it that way though.
Thank you for listening for such a long time, too. We appreciate you. Thank you very much.
How did you find us?
Yeah, Nate, email us back and let us know how the hell you found our podcast. I'm just curious.
Yes.
Was it YouTube? Was it Spotify? But thank you for tuning in nonetheless. Sorry, it took us a couple days to get your email. RJ, happy final day of exhibition games to you both. We're a bit late. Here's just a bag of mixed nuts for y'all because I only got like 3 hours of sleep last night. This is potpourri for $1,000. Shout out Jeopardy. Alternate all-star format number 1. Let's go one by one and discuss briefly.
All right.
We'll go through the list. Alternate all-star format number 1. Have 4 all-star squads and have them do a single game elimination bracket. 2 games on Saturday during the day and the final on Sunday. Let the first and second year guys in the mix and bag the future stars game. More players, more fun. Fine with
Maybe it's like yeah, you scrap the future stars game and you do maybe a draft, and then those guys are also in there.
Yeah, would be fun. I'm down. Also, this is random, not RJ's email. We got a comment the other day on the pregame stream that I touched my face too much. Sorry.
Somebody said that?
Somebody said, I
never noticed that.
I hate when you wipe your nose. It's gross. And they yelled at me.
I hate when you wipe your nose. It's gross.
I wanted to go on a whole rant and say, you know what? It's one thing if you had come in here and like, we're somewhat nice and said, hey, like, just wipe your nose off screen or something, but just say like, you're gross. Like, now I'm just going to do it more. So go fuck yourself.
No, you should just not wipe your nose and just have fucking snot everywhere.
I got allergies. What do you want from me, man? Like, I'm not going to go off screen and blow my nose.
Don't ask them what they want out of you. You just asked for a world of pain.
You're right. My bad.
Get ready to get called fat, buddy.
Alternate all-star format number 2. Back to RJ. The gym rat version. Players can create their own 6-man squads and they play a 1st to 15 game. Open to all players. So see if the Bus One boys want to put in for it. If they do, they're in. Not sure how to get the championship game. We can figure it
tournament.
out. Yeah, it would be fun. I don't know if people would be into it, but would be cool. Making it optional. Next bullet point, you talked about the City Edition jersey not looking funky enough this year. I wish they could do a version honoring Mike Gorman with the player's number encircled with this call, take it, make it, or maybe just got it. Either one would be better and more fitting for this year. That would have been sick.
That's great. Great idea by RJ. Oh, man. They have, like imagine like maybe it's a green jersey with a black mic and a shamrock on the mic and then the numbers in the shamrock or something. And then you have a got it or something on there.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sick. They should have did that.
He definitely already has it. We need to DM Pete Rogers and say, can you make a Mike Gorman jersey?
We should. We should hit him up. It's a good idea.
RJ, definitely great idea. He's a genius. Yeah. Shout out RJ. And speaking of funky, if you haven't read it already, pick up a copy of Terry Pluto's excellent book, Look back at the ABA title, Loose Balls. It's for as much as the 1970s NBA, including Red Auerbach, hated the competing league. About the only thing the modern NBA has not taken from it is the red, white, and blue basketball. It's a fun read, and you get to see some truly fantastic uniforms. Might have to pick it up.
They should do something with the ABA ball. It's a cool ball. Sick.
Ratlist, people who butcher my name. If I get it if it's a phone call and you hear RJ as Andre or Archie. Heck, I got called Sergey today, which is at least a bit different. But when I send you a business email and my name is in the signature, how the hell do you screw it up? How do you screw up RJ?
Yeah, it's an easy one. Not a lot of letters to remember.
Do people ever pronounce your name wrong?
Me?
Yeah.
They do my last name. They love to have fun with it, and they call me like La France.
People get my last name wrong a decent amount, more than you expect.
All the time.
My last name. So my brother and sister, at our high school graduations, our principal pronounced it wrong 3 different times in 3 different ways. It was all different. And my high school chorus teacher, who I was with her for all 4 years, she wrote one of my college recommendations, spelt my name incorrectly for the first 2 years I knew her. It's just she added an E. It was just Simeone. It's like when people spell Dennis Schroeder wrong and add an E in there. But anyways, last and definitely not least, which Celtics 7-footer would Taylor Swift most like hanging out with? Kristaps, Luke Cornett, or Nemish Queta? Luke Cornett.
He probably likes country music. He's from Texas. Like he's probably funny. He's a good time. Now, is he the biggest star of the bunch, which is also something she may value with Travis Kelce there? No. Kristaps the tallest, but as we've discussed, he's gonna die. So, per my mom, who has a nursing degree, so definitely not him.
And then RJ, last ball, he said, okay, I lied because he said last. For as much as Sam loves Spider-Man, has he ever thought of dressing up as J. Jonah Jameson for Halloween? Okay, now I'm do you know who this is? I don't know who this is.
You don't know who J. Jonah Jameson is?
Am I stupid?
Okay, hold on. We are going to have fun.
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to Google.
You can look it up. I will find a clip. The answer
I know, yes, I know.
Okay, you know who it is.
I've seen the clip.
Okay. Yeah. So, to answer RJ's question, yes. I actually thought of it this year because we were kind of talking about costumes for this, and I was thinking about it maybe. He rules. This is the greatest character from any superhero movie. J.K. Simmons is excellent. If you've ever seen Whiplash, he's in that too, and he plays a different role, but it's the same actor, and the voice is the same.
I don't know who he is. I just know the meme.
So J. Jonah Jameson is the editor of the newspaper that Peter Parker takes pictures for. He takes pictures of Spider-Man. J.
What's
Jonah
the newspaper
Jameson wants
called?
pictures of Spider-Man. Paper is the Daily Bugle.
Okay, I didn't know that. I remembered, but I couldn't remember the name.
And J. Jonah Jameson is the best character in all of these 3 movies. If you have time, go on. Yeah, you serious? Pay for what? Standing there? Yeah, great. And then he just laughs at him. Fantastic character. I can't say enough good things about J.K. Simmons in that. He's awesome. He's fantastic. Go watch the movies. Go watch compilations on YouTube. He's so good at this character that they brought him back for the new movies with a different Spider-Man. He's the only person that will play this character in a movie.
Oh, they brought him back to play the same character in a different different universe or whatever?
See on your screen, the bald one? Same guy, same character, different universe.
Wow. Does they just made him look different? I guess it's older, so he's just older. That's awesome. He's the
great. GOAT.
People just loved him that much.
Yeah, he's the star every scene he's in.
That's great. That is great. All right, let's get back to the email. We have a few more here. Move and win. Evening, guys. This is from RJ again. If I don't tell you who it's from RJ. Evening, guys. Well, that was a fun night in Charlotte. Even when the ball wasn't falling, the Celtics showed again why they moved the ball move the ball up out briskly, then pass and cut towards the rim and get good shots. Starters, reserves, deep bench. The result was winning basketball, coupled with solid defense. Even when they took rush threes, the Celtics kept increasing their lead. Okay, it was the Hornets, but a championship team is supposed to blow out an inferior opponent. True.
That's right.
True. Fact.
That is the number one point. That is what Joe Mazzulla should say anytime anybody questions him about quote unquote bad teams. Are you going to be able to do that? You should be able to beat the piss on any bad team if you're a championship team. This is what I've been asking for years, and it's not even the actual season yet.
Mm-hmm. Love that Nemi got some run with the top 9 guys. Also that he showed improvement on defense and not committing silly fouls. If you got beat first, don't give up. Free extra points, then keep refining your defense. It was also nice to see Coach Mazzulla read my note on Lamar Stevens, got him off the 3-point line. Got him off the 3-point line, I should say. My favorite stat of the night is that Tatum, Holiday, Pritchard, and Davison combined for 27 assists. Everyone is getting on the same page as well as moving the ball. Until Sam pokes his head out of the Spider-Verse, be well. Also, I saw Holiday, Pritchard, and Davison, no turnovers from those 3 guys. I don't know about Tatum, but it was an efficient night. Sam's head is out of the Spider-Verse, though.
For now.
It was fully in it. For now. Sorry.
I was mad as hell yesterday that we had to do a video. I completely forgot about it, and it snuck up on me.
I do want to play the game.
I was happy to be here when I was here, but when I was like, oh, no.
Mm-hmm. I do want to play the game. I just haven't had any time.
It sucks. I want you to play it. Maybe tomorrow you'll have a little bit of time. Who knows? I don't know if they got anything.
I got ball. Are you playing ball? I have practice.
I'm playing ball if I'm not exhausted because I have a noon playoff game tomorrow.
Well, I've got Celtics practice and then ball, so I probably won't have time to play the game. But next email, again, from RJ. Handicapping roster moves. Morning, Jack. Say hi to Sam for me when Sam comes back from her self-induced Spider-Verse exile.
It was great, dude. I put my life on Do Not Disturb. I literally didn't text anybody back yesterday. It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Now that the preseason games are done, we turn to the last bit of preseason fun for armchair GMs, guessing who winds up on the roster. Well, we kind of know now, but we'll see what RJ predicted. Celtics only need to cut 1 contract to get down to 15 players, along with resolving Jay Scrubb's contract status due to his injury. I'll group my guesses into 3 groups. On the team, Ben Jermaine, and update your resume. On the team, Banton, Brissett, Brown, Hauser, Holiday, Horford, Cornette, Mikhailuk, Porzingis, Pritchard, Stevens, Tatum, White. Ding, ding, ding. Correct. All correct here. Biggest surprise call of time between Cornette and Mikhailuk, Luke, because in a world governed by what have you done for me lately and how high is your ceiling, he's being rewarded for steady, consistent play and knowledge of the organization. His fee mostly because I knew his game as being shooting first, last, and always, but as athleticism stood out, it got him on board. Bench or main? Davison, Keda, Scrubb, Walsh. Biggest surprise, Keda, after seeing the auditions by Kabengele last year in Esabuki in Vegas this summer. True. I was all set to see another looks good in the highlight reel guy who couldn't advance the game. Keta has shows his improvement necessary to not only keep him in the organization, but very likely get him regular minutes on nights where Al or KP are resting. Walsh isn't a surprise for this list because he's still maturing physically, which is what 19-year-olds should be doing. UYR. What does that stand for again? Update your resume. Yes, Gabriel and Steward, correct. 2 for 2 for RJ. Biggest surprise, winning Gabriel's experience and productivity last year with the Lakers made me think he was a likely candidate to split time with Luke. But not only has Kata passed him, he hasn't seen him progress past the deep end of the bench, falling behind Stevens in the role of small big. So the odd man out comes down to Gabriel, Scrubb, or Steward. The easy cut is to cut Scrubb because of his injury and slide Steward into his two-way spot. But apart from being a two-comey, he hasn't shown a remarkable single aspect to his game, nor did he show marked improvement during the games. My pick is to reward demonstrated progress, even if it means holding a guy through injury. Keep Scrubb on his two-way. Let Steward go. Sign Gabriel as the 15th man. Let's go Celtics. RJ. Well, they did cut Steward.
A follow-up email.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he sent us the next one is
this one? No,
there's one where he was like update.
Oh, yes, update.
Yeah,
the email H12.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's close though. You got close, RJ. Respect. All right, let's move swiftly through these because we got 2 more, and then we'll move on to the rest of the show. Yep. Understudies from RJ. Morning, gents. Morning, RJ. We appreciate you.
Hey.
Good morning as you're listening to this. How are you doing today, RJ? Let us know how you're doing in your next email, RJ. Yeah. We appreciate you. With the starting 6 locked in and Coach Mazzulla preaching what looks like to be a consistent brand of Celtics basketball each end of the floor, irrespective of who is on the floor, maybe a better way to look at players 7 through 14 on the roster would be in terms of understudies. The production keeps going and you have a player or two who can step into the role of a star. Tatum understudy, Sam Hauser. He has the height, his scoring ability provides some of the gravity JT has, true. And while he can shoot and will shoot, the ball doesn't stick in his hands if he's covered, true. Brown understudy, O'Shea Brissett and Steve McKinley. Do we want defensive JT, Brissett, or offensive JT, Svi? I think you meant JB, but still. White or Holiday. Peyton Pritchard is the only understudy, the one understudy whose game has the least resemblance to the leads he subs in for, but his familiarity with the rest of the team and the respect they have for him makes it work. Delano Banton moves up if the opponent requires a taller guard. Horford, Lamar Stevens. What he lacks on outside shooting, Stevens brings in some original energy with his drives to the basket and its ability to finish. His defense is muscular and mobile, so it's not a big drop off there. Porzingis, Luke Cornett. I know that everyone wants the answer to be I know what everyone wants the answer to be, but Cornette knows the lines and knows the rest of the cast, and that counts for a lot when you want to maintain the performance in the absence of the lead. And yes, Nemish Keita is studying furiously to move up in the spot, but I'm certain be well, RJ. I appreciate the theatrics terms there. It speaks to my high school. Any thoughts here, Sam? Or should we move swiftly through this? Good thought.
I think Nemi might be the backup center. I don't know yet. I think RJ's point's good too. He's still got a little bit of work to do, a little bit more polish.
I like the idea of having understudies though, people who can play the same role.
I think Lamar Stevens is a good one
for
Al Horford. He seems like he has the strength and versatility to kind of be a plug and play defender if he needs to be.
I wonder if they'll play O'Shea in that spot more than Lamar because he's taller.
That's true.
He's not as strong, but he's athletic.
That's a decent shout too.
All right. One last email. Thank you, RJ, for tuning in. Full circle for Kissenlaw. Since looking for information on Reggie Kissenlaw is what brought me to HBTC in the first place, I figured I'd share my write-up of his recent signing cut with the Celtics, along with fellow big James Banks. Full articles at Celtics blog here. We'll take a brief look. We don't have to read through the whole thing, but Kissenlaw did, in fact, sign with Celtics. Oh, it is a brief write-up. I won't read the whole thing, but basically, preseason started with Celtics blog trotting up big men for auditions. Did a signing cut maneuver yesterday with center James Banks and returning main Celtic power forward Reggie Kissenlaw. 6'11", 27-year-old Kissenlaw. Signing looks to be a depth addition for Maine. 195-pound frame, just doesn't seem built for NBA minutes, but he showed good defensive timing and a reasonable three-point shot. Banks, who will turn 26 in January. He's skinny. Banks will turn 26 in January. 6'10", tall, weighs 250 pounds. Feels like another break glass in case of emergency players. 4-year college split between Texas and Georgia Tech, averaging 6.5 and 5.5. Spent 1 year at overseas. He averaged 5 and 5 and finished second in the league in 1.8 blocks a game. Next 2 years, we're in the G League. 6 and 6, 1.5 assists, 1.4 blocks. Kissenlaw was at Celtics practice the other day, actually, so that was something to notice. Maybe he was just getting in some run while he was signed and not waived, but he was there, so that was something I noticed. But thank you again to RJ. You're a beast. You're a legend for this.
He is a unit, a well-oiled machine. He puts in the work.
I'm getting better at reading them too. I'm speeding through them. I can talk quick. I stumble a little bit, but thank you to RJ. And RJ, let us know how you're doing. I want an RJ email, not a Celtics email from you. We appreciate you. I
Let us
also
know how the
forgot.
birthday was for the twins.
Yeah, tell us. I also completely forgot to check the timestamp on that, so I'm gonna have to go back and try to find when we started the emails, which should be easy though, because I can look when the emails popped up on the screen, so it's
That's
fine.
true. Yeah,
I can figure
maybe
it
the
out.
best thing for you to forget the timestamp.
Exactly. All right, but moving into the NBA portion of the show, we'll start with a couple housekeeping items. That was tough.
You can
The
cut that too.
Nuggets. No, I'm not cutting that. I
Respect.
will leave my stumbles in. We'll cut out stuff we have to,
Imperfections
but
remain.
I try my best. The Nuggets have extended big man Zeke Nnaji to a 4-year, $32 million deal. I was listening to Zach Lowe talk about this with Bobby Marks when they were talking about potential extensions. Zach Lowe said Zeke Nnaji should ask for 4 years, $40 million. So he's clearly high on Zeke Nnaji. Zeke Nnaji probably going to play a lot of minutes in Denver this year as the backup 5.
He's in a weird spot.
Fine. It is weird. You think he'll play. He's a solid enough defender. He can shoot the 3 a little bit. But you think he gets some more minutes this year because DeAndre Ayton's probably going to take another step backwards in terms of playing time. He played 14 minutes for them last year, averaged 5 and 2.
You mean DeAndre Jordan?
What did
you
I
said?
say?
DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, I meant DeAndre Jordan.
I was so confused. I was so confused that it took me like 30 seconds to figure out who you were trying to talk about.
Sorry, DeAndre Jordan.
Like, wait, what?
Yeah, Zeke Nnaji should play. Any thoughts on this, Sam? I assume you're not.
I think Najee's an interesting character for the Nuggets because he's someone that, of course, with this extension is no longer in the last year of his deal, but he is in the last of the rookie salary, if you will. So he's somebody that the Nuggets have been at least urged to look to trade, to include in trades this summer. Every time Bleacher Report put up an article, it was his name that was in there for the most part. So it's interesting to see what they're going to do with him this year and how much they actually want to use him. Because if he does get real minutes, it's not crazy to see them keeping him. But if he doesn't, he has the contract now to where a trade could at least get them something valuable in return or serviceable in return to get real minutes.
Yeah, now he'll make a little bit more money, although he will have the poison pill thing. So they probably can't trade him this year.
He gets a trade kicker if he gets traded.
No, it's the poison pill. So since they signed him to a rookie extension, he's making a little bit of money this year. They can't trade him using this salary. They have to trade him using next year's salary or like some average or something weird.
I see.
It's like the I forget where the
learn something new every day
rule came from, but there's a poison pill in there. So there's that. Another housekeeper. I really can't say that word.
All right. You did a lot of reading.
Another housekeeping item. The Trailblazers have picked up Ish Wainwright, who was released by the Suns, and they have waived Kevin Knox. This didn't have to be its own thing. I just thought it was interesting because Ish Wainwright, I think,
former
solid player.
NFL player,
former college football player.
Okay. They were talking a lot about football with him.
Yeah, he's huge. He's just a big dude.
He had a good game against the Celtics at the Garden.
Yeah, he's big. Did he play? I don't think he played in the NFL. I swear he didn't play in the NFL. I think he just played
the Bills. Maybe they drafted him and he never made it.
Oh, yeah. After finishing his career at Baylor, Wainwright joined the Buffalo Bills as an undrafted free agent, but did not make the final roster. So there was a connection there. Right. We're both right. Yeah, then he went to play basketball overseas. Yeah. How old is Ish Wainwright, Sam?
28.
29.
I was close.
He's old for a guy who thinks, you think he'd be a younger player. I like to pick up for the Trailblazers. He's a nice, big body to throw out there off the bench. It might be the most jacked guy in the NFL. He's huge. He's gigantic.
I think he would have been an interesting pickup for the Celtics, actually. He has a little bit of a shooting ability, and he's obviously strong enough to hold his own on defense. He's not the greatest shooter ever, but he had a good game against the Celtics, so he fits the bill to get brought in.
Surprised the Suns let him go. Oh,
that too.
Weird. They picked somebody up, I think, though. I think Suns waive. I think they signed somebody, so they let him go. Who'd they sign? Maybe not. I think they just waived him. I'm an idiot. Ignore me. Anyways.
Big, dumb idiot.
Yeah, that's me. But speaking of waivers, today was the last day for teams to waive players without having to pay the X amount of money per day to keep them on the roster. So guys who did not get waived right now seem like, okay, they might stick around. We don't have to go over all these in depth. These are guys who did not get waived per Keith Smith NBA. He said the following players on Exhibit 910 deals do not appear to have been waived today. Ryan Arcidiacono, New York Knicks. Charles Bediako, Spurs. He played pretty well for them in Summer League, and I can't remember if he was in the G League or in college last year, but he's a big body.
Yep.
Harry Giles the third in Brooklyn. Shout out Tatum's friend. Lamar Stevens in Boston. W, as Sam put.
W for you. Big W for Jack.
Huge for Jack. Edmund Sumner in Charlotte. Stanley Amude in Detroit, and Nate Williams Jr. in Houston. So those are the guys.
Jack, who is addicted to gambling, even if it's not with money. Gamble hours and hours of work on a guy making the roster.
Woo! We'll see what happens. And then the
Good
last
for
thing,
him, man. I like the fit.
In on Lamar. Last thing before we wrap up, every year Sam and I do predictions. We do standings and NBA awards. We're going to start with the awards today.
We need to start reviewing these. Mark, it is October 22nd podcast.
Someone remind us.
Remind
us. There's
RJ remind us.
Yeah, RJ, can you this is such a huge RJ, remind us a year from now to react to this.
Maybe just in April.
Yeah, remind us in April. Yeah, fine. Remind us months from now to react to this. I'm gonna title this in the Google Docs NBA award predictions.
Okay. Good call.
Predictions 2023-24. So I can search it and maybe we'll find it. It'll pop up.
We got to be the dumbest of the dumb.
We're so stupid.
That needs to be part of the intro.
I'm not editing that. Hell no.
No, don't edit it. Don't edit it because that's going to take a lot of time. But that is just an all-time encapsulation of the show. We're going to be the dumbest of the dumb.
All right, but we're going to do NBA award predictions now. And then we'll get to the rattles, and then that'll be it. And then I can go to sleep. I'm tired. Yeah. All right. You want to start with the MVP, or do you want to go least important award to the most important?
Yeah, let's do that one.
Okay. So let's start with clutch player of the year because no one cares. Sam and Sam, who was lagging now, sometimes I'll cut it when Sam lags from the show, but instead I'm just going to talk to you guys until Sam comes back. How are you guys doing today? Sam's going to have no idea this is in the show, and maybe I'll show him. But Sam's not here. I hope you're all having a great day. This is mainly because I don't want to have to edit out Sam's lag from the show and put it in and have that extra time. So I'm just filibustering.
I'm here.
But we appreciate you. Welcome back, Sam.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Thing turned red.
So, shocker. Clutch player of the year. I don't know how to predict this because it's new last year. Who do you have as your clutch player of the year, Sam?
Mine is blank. I thought we were going to skip it, but I will give you some ideas off the top of my head. I think Luka is a good call for this.
Be the dumbest motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Okay, Luka, sure.
I think Luka's a good pick. A little bit biased as a Celtics fan, but I've seen him hit more game winners against the Celtics than probably 99% of NBA players I've ever seen play. I also think that I want to think teams that are probably going to be having to battle it out in a lot of close games.
That's why I thought. So I have 4 players under here who were in the running last year that I think are automatically going to be in the running.
Who won last year?
De'Aaron Fox, I think, won last year.
Okay.
And so I have Fox, Jimmy, Luka, DeMar DeRozan. I think those 4 were in the running last year. They'll probably be in the running this year. But for my top 3, I picked 3 guys who I thought were unique because I was like, let's have some fun. Donovan Mitchell is who I had to win. I think Donovan Mitchell will have a good chance. He seems like they'll be there. I think Trae Young could have a chance because I think the Hawks could be in a bunch of close games. I have one for you when you're done. Mm-hmm. And then my really weird one, Cam Johnson. I think the Nets are going to be in a lot of close games. I think he's probably the best.
Or Cam Thomas?
Johnson.
Okay.
I think they're going to be in a lot of close games. I think Mikal Bridges is the best 3-point shooter, and I think Cam Johnson takes a major leap forward this year. He's not one of my most improved player candidates, spoiler alert, but I think he'll take a leap. I think he'll be hitting a lot of clutch shots. That's my way out of left field if I'm writing to look like a genius. If not, I'll just be an idiot. Cam Johnson's the name I'll put out there. Who do you got?
I think Dame is a good candidate for this.
That is a good one. Yeah, Dame, maybe. Yeah.
He's going to have a lot more attention on him this year. He might get to have some moments with the Bucks. He might not have to because they're going to be a good team. And maybe Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, too, if I could speak English. Mm-hmm. He's somebody that's probably going to be in a lot of close games with an OKC team that has somewhat of expectations on them this year with a lot of young talent.
Yeah, I'll back it. All right, Coach of the Year.
Also OKC Dagnall. Think that team has a lot of potential. If they take a leap, people are going to be like, respect to the coach. You have to shout him out. So he's a good candidate for that. Other teams,
I got
think
two.
Missoula might have a shout too, just because the Celtics are
Mhm.
kind of being reinvented in a way. He's got a whole new
Adrian
roster he has
Griffin,
to
too.
deal with.
Bucks
Adrian
coach.
Griffin,
Mhm.
who's not the general manager.
Who Terry Stotts got really mad at. We didn't even put that in our show notes, but Terry
I
Stotts.
think we
left
talked
the Bucks.
about that. Talked about it somewhere.
Did you see the new stuff came out though?
No.
I forget where I saw it. I'm hoping I didn't get baited and this isn't a fake thing. Let me look quick just so I don't say.
While you're looking,
yeah,
I was on Reddit today and I saw the Bucks posted a leak. Their subreddit posted a leak of their city jerseys, and the top reply was, "This is why Terry Stotts left. He saw this and dipped."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's funny. I don't know if it's true. I can't find what I saw, but I saw something along the lines of like they were in a heated confrontation. It sounds fake now that I say it back, but it's funny, so I'm gonna say it anyways. And it was like, I'm not taking advice from a guy who never made it past the Eastern Conference Finals. And imagine if Terry Stotts yelled back, "Yeah, with fucking Ennis Cantor as my center." So I don't think it's true, but that would be fire if he just yelled that back.
It's like that time where what was it? CP3 reportedly called Harden fat, and Skip Bayless said it on TV.
Yeah. My guy I think Jamal Mosley could have a chance. I think the Magic are going to be real good this year.
Magic was going to be the team I was going to say, but I didn't know who the coach was, so I didn't want to say it.
Jamal Mosley. Reason I know partially because I tweeted about him once, and Luka Doncic followed me on Twitter. A long time ago because he was his assistant in Dallas. Other one, Rick Carlisle. I'm in on the Pacers and Magic. I think both those guys could have a chance.
Yep, those are good shouts. Good teams that are kind of set to take a leap. So the coaches will get credit there. Great picks.
Mm. Okay, 6th man of the year. Who do you got?
So I already told you this, but my answer on my sheet that I typed out was verbatim. I'd say whoever it winds up being in Boston. But who knows if they actually have anybody take on the role full time. And then without a period, it says Malik Monk. So Malik Monk is my actual pick. I think he had a solid showing in the playoffs for the Kings. If he's able to carry over that magic into the regular season, he could get some real recognition out there, especially because I think people are actually going to pay attention to the Kings now. So that's a little thing to keep your eyes peeled for. Other guys off the top of my head, I don't have a whole lot for you.
I got 3. My winner I picked, Bobby Portis. I think he's a good shout to take it home.
It's kind of overdue.
He was 3rd in voting last year. I think he could get a bump this year. Another guy who was 2nd in voting, Emmanuel Quickly, I think could have another bump. I mean, he's going to be the 6th man there anyways. Off the rails guy picked Seth Curry in Dallas. I think he'll probably score a lot, get some threes. I think that's another guy who could get some consideration if they're good enough. So Seth Curry's
Dallas is a big window team where they could be pretty good or they could suck in it.
They could be 3rd or 12th. Yeah. Yep. You don't know what's going to happen.
A lot of teams in the West could be, in fairness to them.
Yep. Okay. Rookie of the year. I assume you put Wemby. I also put Wemby. Maybe Chet. Another guy I have just before we talk about Wemby, Keontae George in Utah. I think he'd get some chances.
A lot of good things being said about him.
He's good. He's another guy. I picked him up in fantasy. Eyes emoji. It's just, I think he'll be good. Wemby's just so fucking good. Like Sam and I both tuned in briefly, or I tuned in. I think Sam saw some highlights and we checked it out. The Spurs Warriors game. He is. I know it's been talked about to death, but watching it for the first time, like fully, like paying attention. Oh my god! Like he's crazy. He could make the All-Star game this year. He's nasty.
I wouldn't be shocked if he makes the All-Star game this year. To be honest with you, with all the fan voting and
that's what I was gonna say.
All that stuff, people are going to be impressed with his highlights. He's going to be a social media favorite. The stuff you're seeing him do in the preseason is unlike things we've seen anybody else do. You saw him take the picture with Chris Paul, where Chris Paul stood on his tippy toes. Who was the one that revealed that little secret from Chris Paul? Who was the reporter? Whoever that may be,
I don't know.
Is not going to get any quotes from Chris Paul for the remainder of the season. Like, if I'm Chris Paul, that's like excommunication right there. Not talking to you ever again.
That is fire. It is fire. Sam, who was the last rookie to make the All-Star game? Who was the last rookie? Okay, before that, let's see how far back you can go.
I don't know, dude. Is it that? Oh, okay.
Yao Ming, Tim Duncan, Grant Hill, and Shaq.
You didn't expect me to know Blake Griffin?
I was just curious. I was gonna say who are all of the rookies to make it, but there's a lot more than I thought. So we're not. There's 45. So I'm not going.
1946. Tell you what, whole
All
all-star
of them.
team, rookies.
This is true. This is true. Okay, but yeah, Wemby's nuts. Most improved player, Sam. Who you got?
I have two guys. I have Alperen Şengün from the
Ooh,
Rockets. Feels like
yeah.
a good pick. Rockets are kind of a team that could make a little bit of a jump. He has little like shades of Jokic in his game. People are loving Jokic right now. There's all kinds of little narratives that could lead him to getting a lot of attention for that. And also Anthony Edwards. Now, Anthony Edwards is
Okay.
a tougher pick because he's already good, but a lot of people are gassing up Anthony Edwards after this Team USA run.
pick.
He turned out to be the guy for that team. There's a lot of talk about Minnesota, them maybe moving on from Cat or seeing what they can do with Cat and Gobert. And if that team is actually able to make any kind of leap, he's going to get a lot of credit for that too. So you might see a new Anthony Edwards in Minnesota this year. So I think he might get some attention for the most improved player.
Ant's a good pick. Ant's a good pick. I have 3. So is your pick Ant or Alperen? Just solidify. Who do you pick?
Have you done this in any of your, hey, I have 3 guys picks? Been like, I think this is the guy that's going to win?
Yes.
I don't think you have.
I have. I've done it in every single one. I said
Okay.
Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Mosley, Bobby Portis, and Wembanyama. You just don't listen to me.
I think it's actually going to be Anthony Edwards. I just think he has too much
Okay.
attention on him.
Yeah. You just don't listen to me. I've literally every time I said this is who I get away with. Who I have as my winner.
Sometimes I just didn't think, like I didn't put it together like you were going
Just not
in
this
order.
time. Obi Toppin is who I have winning. I think he's gonna
New
shout.
team, new
I think he's
role.
gonna get a lot of new looks. He's looked great in the preseason so far. Tyrese Maxey is another one, especially if Harden's out. I think he'll have a good chance. Now I'm gonna tell you who is going to win. Austin Reeves is gonna win most improved player.
Oh, they love him.
Am I wrong? Right? It's too easy. It's too easy. So I think that is who he's
that's
gonna
what
win.
I missed.
But Obi Toppin is my pick for it. All right,
I would like
defensive
to
player
be
of the year.
none of the guys we mentioned because that means something really fun happened.
Exactly. I agree. I hope it's none of them. I
Kristaps.
hope Kelly Olynyk wins most improved player. Who is he?
After he gets traded to the Celtics midseason.
Yeah. Daniel Tice, most improved player campaign. That'd be electric.
Down.
He's so sick.
Daniel
Boy,
Tice averages like 20-10, 2 blocks.
All-star Tice. Whew. Okay. Defensive player of the year. Tice. No. Who is your pick?
I picked Giannis. I think Giannis is
Yeah.
due for another one. He hasn't won it in 2-3 years now. He's still that guy. He's long. He's an impactful player on a good defensive team, even though they were mid last year, I think, defensively, if I'm not mistaken. But he is still an impactful defensive player. He's quick. He can defend the perimeter. He's strong. He can defend the paint, and he's able to athletically block shots and deflect passes, all of it. He can do it all. So he's my pick. I think he's due for another one.
I back it. I picked. Did you have anybody? Excuse me, anybody else? Or
That's my only one. I think this is a harder one. I think Wemby might be a sleeper pick, but I don't know if he's strong enough.
I'm gonna go with Evan Mobley. They were the best defensive team in the league last year. I think he'll take another step, especially defensively. And if they're top 5 again, I think he'll get a lot of votes. Other guys I mentioned, Nick Claxton. I think the Nets have all those pieces to be good on defense. I think he's good.
Ben Simmons.
Anthony Davis. If the Lakers are a good defensive team and he plays enough, he was nasty in the playoffs. And then I said D White, Jrue Holiday, KP though. Like if the Celtics are as good defensively as they are, I think one of them could seriously get some love.
Jrue Holiday's gonna get that national media attention with the Celtics. Porzingis is
D White, dude. If they are that good on defense, like I think there's a case. All right, MVP Sam. Who you got for your MVP?
all right. So I have 2 guys. I can't pick one. I have Giannis and Tatum. Here's why.
Okay.
I
Sure.
think those are the best 2 teams in the league. I think they are 2 of the most exciting players in the league. I think Tatum is due for one, but he has to put together a real season. And again, Giannis didn't win one since when? 2020, 2019. It's been a while for Giannis. I think he's due another one.
Okay, I have Tatum and Devin Booker as my 2 secondary ones.
Booker.
But I have Jokic. I think what's going to happen is
They love Jokic again.
I think everyone realizes our bad. We were too juiced up on, Joel Embiid needs his. Jokic has been the best player in the NBA for the past 4 seasons. He just has been. He just has been. He's put up the best stats by far.
Basketball Reference is crazy. It really is.
He's a fucking my career player. He's not. This dude's not in the NBA.
Speaking
Nikola
of 2K, Quick.
Yeah.
Quick. Sorry, not to like derail you. You can pick one 2K player to give like 99 potential to. It has to be Tice.
Yeah. That's a good one. You need it. No, but Nikola Jokic last season, 25 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists. Not MVP.
Playoff numbers are even better.
Crazy.
They're so nuts. And it's like
In the
it's like
playoffs?
30, 13 and a half and 9 and a half
Also,
on like
Sam-
efficient splits.
Jokic averaged 24.5 points in regular season last year on 15 shots. Sam, what did he shoot from the field?
He shot
Jokic.
what, 60?
63.2%
and
from the
he
field.
he shot some threes too. He shot
2.2 threes a
40%
game.
from three, right?
38.3%
Yeah.
on 2.2 attempts a game. Playoffs, 30 points. 30. I can't even say this out loud.
He was unbelievable in the playoffs. He was
I'm sorry.
doing shit you'll never see.
In 20 games, 30 points a game, 13.5 rebounds, 9.5 assists, a steal and a block, 4.8% from the field, 46.1% from three. Like, that genuinely might be a top 5 playoff run ever. Like,
It might be.
ever.
No, I've written about the Nuggets a zillion times in the last 2 months because I'm on that fan sided page, and I do a ton of Jokic like box score inserts or whatever. And man, every time I go look at Basketball Reference to talk about the playoff run, I'm like, that is one of the most insane things we've ever seen. It's just out of this world. He's an alien, whatever you want to call him. He's unbelievable, super efficient, and he controls the game at a high intellectual level.
Crazy. He's the best player on the planet. I think he'll win MVP again. All right, let's get in to the rat list finally. It's been a long
I feel
show.
like you're ready for this. You sound ready.
I am exhausted. I'm ready to go to sleep. But wow, we have a lot of stuff going on the screen right now. Oopsies.
Matt, bring that one back. Bring it back. Matt the rat looks kind of like a dwarf. Like
He's very
a little
small.
rat. Yeah.
He is. We'll bring out the real Matt. There's Matt for us. All right, what do I have? Oh, do you want to hold rat court first? Should we start with rat court?
Hold rat court. This is a week in the works.
Rat court in session. So I am looking to move out currently. I'm looking at apartments, and I am going to potentially live with my friend Mallory, who I have known since high school. I've known her for 10 years. We're friends. We went to high school together. We did show choir together. We went to the same college. She was a nursing major as well. So I've been good friends with her for a long time. She's also looking to move in the city. So we're like, oh, maybe we'll look together. Nothing like this isn't a definite. I'm definitely going to do it, but we're like looking at apartments, seeing if there's anything, if it works out. I tell Sam this, and Sam goes, "That's fucking weird, dude." I'm like,
it is weird.
It's
weird.
not weird. It's just
weird.
not. It's not weird. This is the rat court, and so we're not going to be able to decide this. So we need the chat to tell us.
Yeah.
I mean, Sam's just never seen New Girl. It's a normal.
I've seen New Girl. It's just
that's a
like,
joke. That's a joke. But I mean,
even New Girl, there's like a bunch of people in the apartment. It's not just 2 people in the apartment. There's 4 of them.
It is not weird. We are good friends.
It's weird.
It's just normal. It's not weird.
Do you know people in real life that do
my
that?
dad?
That
my
aren't
dad
New
did.
Girl?
My dad lived with
Okay.
girls. Yeah, when he moved to the city.
Respect.
Yeah. So it's rat court. Let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
that's the rat court.
Who is right about this?
Me.
I think it's strange.
It's strange. Have you told Kaylin about this? I wonder what you would say.
Oh, I haven't. I actually have not.
I'm curious. You have to let me know what she says.
I'll have to ask her. I'll text her in a minute.
Okay. Go ahead, Sam.
So
you can't complain about Spider-Man not being here anymore.
I can't.
Your main complaint
I
is
can
gone.
complain about it being here. So, like I said earlier, I now feel like I have no will to live. I've finished the story in this game, and it is a crushing feeling when you've been waiting 5 years for something and it's kind of gone.
It's like the puppy who eats his food too fast. They're like, no, wait,
Exactly.
Wait.
So,
I didn't enjoy
Spider-Man came out, and it comes out on Thursday night. So timeline time. Jack and I have done 4 hours of content on Thursday. I'm very tired.
Yeah.
I go and I take a nap after we wrap up our Friday morning video that we did after the playback stream with Tyler Rucker, which was
You took
excellent.
work off to play this game on Friday.
I took work off for 3 days, so I prepared 2 days, just preparing myself. And I took the Friday off to make sure I had all day to play and could not be bothered. Now, I go take a nap after the show. 11:55 alarm comes. I get up, spring out of bed, go pee, sit down at my PlayStation, watch the final minute tick off the thing, and I hit play. I play for 2.5 hours. I thoroughly enjoy myself.
Was there a timer in the game with the minutes, or did you just watch a clock saying like, "I'm waiting"?
No. So when you're on your PlayStation and the game is not officially released yet, there is since I downloaded it last Friday, there was a countdown to when you can play.
My God.
But this is for every game. It's not just a Spider-Man thing.
Okay.
Like if I bought like 2K, it would do the same thing.
I can just picture you having that up at all hours of the day. Like, oh, it's so
I
close,
should have.
man.
I should have had it as my background. But so I play for 2.5 hours. I finally decide I wasn't even really that tired, but I was like, I'm gonna go to bed because I don't want to get up at like 11.
You
So I
wanted
went-
to maximize the time you would have playing the next day.
Yeah, I wanted to maximize my Friday
Okay.
playing time. So I go to bed. I wake up at 7. And I'm ready to go. I'm recharged. I sit down at my PlayStation. I play for 2 hours. I decide I'm hungry. So I go downstairs and I make myself food. I do not go get coffee. This is important. I go and I make my own breakfast. I eat my sandwich. I come back. I play for sorry.
Sam's getting distracted.
I'll explain this as
Another-
list.
Sure.
Because I'm getting like a story. I'm sorry. So 5 hours go by. I go back downstairs, and my dad says, "Oh, you must be hungry." I made myself a wrap, and I went right back upstairs and played. So what is it? 9 to 2. I have played now 7 total hours since waking up. I proceed to play another 8 hours.
Straight.
Well, I ate dinner at some point.
Oh, yeah, sure. You got it. Yeah.
and I recorded with you.
Okay. Sorry. Wow. That was
Yeah.
I recorded with your dumbass to get
Yeah,
in the
I
way.
did. I recorded with you. But by the time I recorded with Jack, I have developed a splitting headache because I've been sitting.
Yeah.
I have my blue light glasses, staring at my TV for the better part of 24 hours. Like yesterday, from midnight to 10 p.m., there were probably 5 total hours that I was not playing Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not have caffeine. I have coffee every single day, often multiple times.
That'll do it.
So I think I was having withdrawals. But I'll tell you what a day. What a day it was. Maybe the best day I've had in a long time. Just don't have to do anything. Put your life on Do Not Disturb.
Better than Stranger Things Day.
So here's why Stranger Things was a better time.
Okay.
Because that lasted like a month and a half. This was just the day end-to-end stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
now
for
I'm already
listeners-
sad.
For listeners, back during COVID, Sam just watched Stranger Things for like a month.
No, it wasn't COVID. It was last
was
year.
it?
It was after the Celtics went to the finals, and we had that little cool down period where there wasn't a whole lot going on.
Okay. Yeah.
It was just I was going to work at 4 a.m., get out at 1, go run, go to the gym after work, probably get done around like 5, right before bed. Episode of Stranger Things, best.
We
like,
weren't
stretch of my
even-
life maybe ever.
We weren't even recording regularly then, so
We
you
weren't
just-
grinding.
No, not like this. Not like this. We did a decent amount. I
No,
wonder
we were
how
still
many
in
we
there, but we
averaged,
weren't. We didn't turn it up yet.
No, not yet. We do daily videos now. We're
All right, but I'm not gonna like talk about the game just in case anybody listening wants to enjoy it. I'm not gonna say anything
Sure.
that happens. If people want that, comment. Like maybe I'll talk about it next week or something.
grade out of 100 though.
But out of 100, probably 92. Now I didn't like that. Like there's certain like missions you can't change your suit. I talked about. I like the suits. It doesn't let you change your suit.
Okay, 92. Good though. Good. What was
Very
the
good.
first? What was the first game? For context.
So this is probably a more well done game, but the first game might be the best first experience I've ever had with a game. Same thing, played all day,
So out of
brought me
100,
to tears. Probably 95.
genuinely tears.
Yeah, the end of the first game's sad. Get ready.
Oh, fuck me. I don't want to play. I will play. All right, rat list. Rain ass. That's what I have written on the sheet. That's my take.
Counter rat list. Rain, good. Love rain. Went running in the rain today. You can only get so wet. More dramatic run. Feels like you're in a very high energy situation. Go ahead.
Let me contextualize my rain ass rat list here. Rain is ass because the Green Line decided that there was a problem, and so they had to shut down service today. And for context, the closest station to Johnny Cupcakes is the Green Line. And so instead of having a 2-minute walk to the store, I had a 15-minute walk to the store, which is fine, except it was raining. And so I was just in the rain.
List.
Yeah, it's a co-rat list. Rain for being ass. Also, rain sucks to drive in. It's just terrible. That was bad.
Well, people see rain and they just like, I don't know how to drive.
Exactly. Especially when I'm sorry. I understand your car broke down. Can it not break down in the left lane? Fuck off. Get out
Inconsiderate to break down the left lane. I respect it.
What I'm saying. So
it's like getting that rush hour. Don't
especially because it was raining and I had to merge back into the middle lane and it was like a bottleneck. It wasn't just like randomly on the highway. It was perfectly at a bottleneck where people are coming in. Fuck that. Mad at the rain because I couldn't see. Mad at the Green Line for making me walk in the rain. Green Line was back up by the time I went home. So that was fine. But mad at the person who broke down. Transit today. Just overall rat list. It was annoying. Not a fan.
Okay. So this is a brief rat list, but I think it is going to be a hard hitter. So what stalled me out of my Spider-Man story, my girlfriend just texted me and she is at a pumpkin carving get together.
Sure.
This has nothing to do with pumpkins. So apparently one of her friends was telling a story. She was in, are you familiar with Baja's, Jack?
Have we been there? Is that the place you took me? For dinner?
No, we
when
went
I
to
came down
BJ's.
to Ball? Okay, then no, I don't know. Baja's.
2 of the 4 letters are correct.
Close.
It was close, but it's essentially like a Chipotle. They have one on 2 on Thayer Street in Providence, so it's like a little walk-in thing.
Sure.
They have a bathroom in the back. So apparently Kaylin's friend went to go to the bathroom and she opened the door and there was just a guy masturbating in the sink. So ratless him for not locking the door. And I asked, so Jack, I just received that story, and would you like to know, or would you like to guess what my response was? What my first question I asked was.
I do, but I don't want to say it, so I'm gonna let you say it.
I don't think my question was what you think it was. My question
What'd you ask?
Was he watching anything good?
You asked, did you let him finish?
Oh no! Shit! No, he did. As soon as he opened the door, that was what did it. No, not really. I don't know. That's a good question. Should I inquire?
Sure. Yeah. I'm crying. That was just so out of left field. I was not expecting it. Excuse me. Holy shit.
We'll have an update for that perhaps by the end of the show.
Please. Speaking of bathrooms, ratless Starbucks, I go into pee and I get into the city. I have a tiny bladder. I get into the city and I take the red line in, I switch to orange line. I'm waiting. It's like maybe like an hour and a half since last time I peed, but I'm like, I'm gonna be standing around for a while. I have to pee a little bit now. I'm gonna have to pee. There's a line for the bathroom in Starbucks. Like, how the fuck is there a line for the bathroom in Starbucks? And so I didn't go. I went, I stood around the juice event, no chairs. My feet were exhausted. And I didn't ask to use the bathroom there, which in hindsight I probably should have, but I didn't. So I didn't use the bathroom like all day. And again, tiny bladder, and I'm just dying. I go back to use the bathroom at Starbucks afterwards. You need to buy something because you need the code. And then there was a line at the Starbucks to get something. I'm like, fuck, I'm just going to go home.
So on the Starbucks.
And I was mad. Yeah. Ratless the Starbucks.
Daddy move. So update, she did not stick around to find out.
Good. That's probably the smart move. Yeah, I love how you rat listed him for not locking the door and not masturbating.
Yeah, you should have just locked the door.
That is crazy. All right,
I said that to Kaylin. She goes, "That's the scumbag move."
What is not letting him?
Yeah, not locking the door.
Yeah. All right. Do you have another one, or should I go again?
I'm out. I don't have anything else.
Rat list random people on the train. I don't know any of the context behind this because I had my headphones in, but I look up and I just see this lady just punch a dude on the red line. She just walks over. I don't know if it was like a full punch, but she just kind of like goes like this. She just goes bang and like bops him. And him and all his friends are like, what the hell? And she's just staring at him. And it's like deadlocked. They're staring at each other. I'm like, fuck, what's happening? And I didn't want to make contact because I wasn't sure how like mentally, like who was what mentally, where mentally in the situation. So I was like trying not to look too much, but they had beef of some sort apparently.
Yeah.
And then like 10 minutes later on the train, I don't know what they were talking about, but she just picks up her stuff, plops it in front of them, and just stands there. Like they're all sitting down. She's just standing there, like looking, like she's on the phone the whole time, just stands there. I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? And she just walked, bro. I didn't even see the punch fully. This is what I saw. I saw arm out, face clocked, and then like him going, what the hell? It's like, what the fuck is happening? It's not even the craziest thing I've seen on the red line.
So in my high school, they did not have homeroom. They had what they call advisory. Advisory was homeroom.
We had
It was
advisory
in the
too.
middle of the day.
Yeah, we had that third or fourth. We had it too for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So one day I'm sitting in my advisory and this girl in my grade storms in and just punches this kid in the face 3 times and starts screaming at him because he called her something. And it was just, you could not believe that just happened. And he just ate it, dude. It was like the most incredible thing. He was like unfazed. He just stood there, didn't flinch, didn't like move a muscle, just ate all 3 shots. And she threw, like they were hard punches. So that was one of the more interesting things that I ever experienced in high school, like ever. Just, I didn't do a whole lot. Oh my God, I lost the second half of what I was going to talk about. Oh, that reminds me of so a lot of new listeners to this show, I've done this story before, but I went to the club like back in February, and this reminds me of when
Sam's freezing again. Jack doesn't want to edit, so Jack is going to talk. I don't know what. Okay, you cut out for a sec. Go ahead, continue.
What was the last thing you heard?
I went to the club in February. Continue. Also, by the way, when you've been lagging these times, I don't want to edit. So when you lag, I just start talking. I'm like, all right, guys, I don't want to edit this out. So we're going to have a chat. Well, Sam's gone and he's not going to know what's there. So I need you to know that this episode, and now you know, but I had to tell you because I was half talking. Anyway,
I wish I could control it. Like I feel bad. I have nothing.
Continue. It's now a fun moment between me and the chat.
So I thought I was going to have to fight. This girl was going to fight me.
Sure.
Because the place is packed. And like, I was like to my friends, like we have like a little area to dance, box out, make sure nobody pushes us in. We don't want to give up this space. And I'm in a fucking box out battle with this girl that's built like a brick house. And then she like tries to pull the chair on me and I didn't fall. And then she got real mad that I didn't fall. So she just starts screaming at me. And I was like, listen, you were like pushing me. I don't know what you want out of me. All I was doing was holding my legs and holding my ground.
That's how it plays. You got to do it at the club. Your advisor story spawned 3 stories in my brain. They're shorter, so I'm going to tell
okay.
them. They're funny. Right. My advisory, there's this kid named Clark who is a legend. He's a very cool guy, but he sometimes got in trouble with like the principals or the teachers or whatever, so it's fine. But he was in my advisory, and our advisor was the assistant principal. So just randomly throughout the year, we would be left alone because she'd walk in the room and she'd just go, "Hey, Clark," and he'd go, "I'm coming." He'd just leave the room with her.
Clark.
We know each other. I wonder if Clark listens. He probably doesn't listen to this, but I had people come up in my review, my 5-year reunion and say I love the pod. So I wonder how many people hear this. But if you know me,
you went to your reunion. I remember you telling me this. I still can't believe you went.
Yeah, I only went because it was like I went with a bunch of my friends who I'm still close with, and we were just like, it was more of a we're curious rather than like we want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was curiosity.
Yeah.
But if you know me from high school, hello. Clark, who my mom is dating. They've been together for like 12, 13 years. So like they're effectively married, but they're not married. They're dating. I call him Coach Burkstow because he was my baseball coach when I was like 12, right?
Oh, so, yes, you told me about this before. Maybe not on the pod, but I do remember this
story
detail.
With Clark.
Not the story,
or that part. So he is coaching at this point. I was like freshman or sophomore year of high school. I was in like rec baseball. I was just playing,
Hmm.
and he's coaching. So at this point, he's been dating my mom for like 3-4 years, whatever. And he was like the coach that everyone liked. Like everyone would like the coach. All the kids were like cool. He was like a cool guy. He still is. This isn't saying he was. Like love him, obviously.
He's washed.
But Clark goes up to him and goes, "Yo, Coach Berg, I bet you get all the bitches in front of me." Just right in front of me. And he goes, "Oh, I'm actually dating Mrs. Simone." And Clark just looks at me and goes, "Oh shit." The funniest shit. And then the other thing, I can't remember if this was a Clark story, but Clark and this guy Luke, who's also in high school, also cool dude. We were in the math class, and this teacher had a rule where you couldn't eat in class because it was loud and distracting. So people would come in with chips, and he would send them to like he goes, "You can go to the nurse's office and finish them if you want," and they would just leave. Like they were like, "Okay,
respect. He wants you to finish your food."
But Clark came into class once with leftover soup from the cafeteria, and the teacher goes, "Clark, there's no eating in the class." And without missing a beat, Clark goes, "What, is my soup too loud for you?" It just fucking. And did you Sam lagged for the punchline of the story? This fucking guy. Did you lag for the punchline of the
I
story?
lagged for the punchline. I'm actually so mad. I was like ready. You did a good job setting it up.
Without missing a beat, Clark goes, "What, is my soup too loud for you, buddy?" just in front of the whole class.
I thought he was going to say,
Best
"I'm not
part?
eating, I'm drinking."
No, best part, nothing else. He just ate his soup in class. Teacher said nothing else. He just ate the soup, and it was like, okay, cool. But the other thing, Luke, like fucking around in class, and so this girl who was very shy sneezed once, and Luke goes, "Bless you," and she goes, "Thank you," and he goes, "I love you." Just in the class. She just goes like this, and then he did it to me like a couple days later, and I just look back and laugh, and he goes, "This guy." You know? Oh man, it was your advisory story spawned all those like funny moments, but I thought that was entertaining. The soup kills me every time.
Too loud for you?
Soup is too loud, man. Soup is too loud. All right, this might be the longest podcast we've done in a minute. And we were scrounging together content before it too, but yeah. Are we done there? Do we got anything else?
I'm out of stuff. I don't have a closer
All right.
today. I guess Spider-Man was kind of a closer. I could have said
Yeah.
that
What's
at
an
the
opener?
time. That was the only thing I had.
Fucking closer, dude. It was a podcast topic for the past week. What do you fucking mean closer? Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate you very much for
Put 'em on
listening,
the damn
especially.
thumbnail this time.
Okay. Well, remind me. I'm gonna make it later. So text me so I have it, and I'll keep it there.
Okay, I'll text you before I go to bed because I'm gonna. I got a big skyscraper looking at me for like the last hour and a half. Just
What is?
thinking about my game is still on.
Are you gonna play some more when you get off?
I'm gonna play some more. Yeah, I got stuff to
Side
do.
quests.
You can do the
Thank
new
y'all
game
for-
plus.
What's that?
You replay it with all the abilities unlocked. And the new
Fucking
suits.
loser. You're a piece of shit. Thank y'all for tuning in. Especially if you listen to the entire hour 40 we just did
Yeah.
of like, I mean, an hour of it was Celtics stuff. We did talk Celtics for a long time, but we appreciate you for listening. Leave a comment, leave us 5 stars, leave all that good stuff. Apple, Spotify. And yeah, leave a comment. That's my favorite part, especially if you've never left a comment before. Last time we asked people who listen on Spotify to like check in. If you've never left a comment and you listen to all these, leave a comment. Let us know you listen. And even if you hate it, if you spite listen, let us know you spite listen.
Do people
we
spite
appreciate
listen
you.
to things? Yeah, they do.
Maybe. You
The
never
whole
know.
Bill Simmons subreddit is like people like rooting for the Boston teams to lose.
Yeah, you never know. If you're a Heat fan, maybe you're a Heat fan who met us in the playoffs. But anyways, let us know if you listen. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. I'll let Sam take it out so we can get back to his fucking spot.
Yeah. Thank you very much for listening or watching today. We did a long pod, so we hope you appreciate it. If you're on YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel and leave a like and comment. Like Jack said, you can also hit the notification bell so you don't miss any live streams, daily uploads, breaking videos, whatever it may be. We've been doing a lot, so you don't want to miss any of it. You can find us on Spotify and Apple as well. Follow us there. Leave a 5-star review. Say something nice about the fellas. You can find us on Playback. Opening night. Gonna be there.
Woo!
Be there. No longer asking. You can Follow us on socials at How About Them C's. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Is just the name of the podcast. You can find Jack on Twitter at JackSmonNBA. You can find me at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us. Bye.
Taco. Come on.
Taco's having some fun here.
That is bogus! These guys are ridiculous!